最近我刷到一个挺有意思的视频，想跟大家伙分享分享。这个视频说的是印度和巴基斯坦的事儿，然后呢又扯到了中国和印度。我就觉得这个话题就有点意思了。视频里是一个印度官员，他也不知道是真懂还是装懂就在那儿分析印巴战争的局势。这说着说着，他突然冒出一句：“你说要是中国和印度也打起来，而且是空战，印度能有几成胜算啊？”哇，这问题问的够大胆。然后呢，他就拉着一个印度军事专家，俩人就开始辩论起来就你一句我一句，那叫一个激烈。最后那个专家估计是被问烦了也可能是实在没法昧着良心说话了，就说了句实话。
Now let me ask you an obvious question. If the combination of the Chinese J-10C aircraft and the Chinese PL-15 missile is so deadly as you are suggesting, does it mean that if India were to be in an aerial combat with China, we would be at a significant disadvantage?
No, what that means, Karan, is basically if you talk of China, it is an entirely different war. The war that India will fight with Pakistan is not the war that India will fight with China, because China is today at the cutting edge of modern warfare. What that means is that there will be no one-on-one engagements between the two air forces, something that will happen between India and Pakistan. In the case of India and PLA, which is the Chinese military, what will happen is they have the capability. For example, they have the largest missile arsenal, cruise missile, ballistic missile, hypersonic missiles in the world, which is under the organization called Rocket Force. And they have bombers. What is a bomber? A bomber has long ranges. It does ground attack, and it can carry heavy payloads. So the point I'm making is that even before, because these are the capabilities, even before our aircrafts attempt to take off from their bases, they have the capability to hit them there only with the missiles as well as their bombers, and perhaps even to blow up the fuel dumps, to blow up the ammunition storage points. So if you don't have that, so there is problem. I mean, they have that capability to see. Last point on this, let me make, there has to be a reason why the US military, they have done so many war gamings in Western Pacific, and every time they have come to the conclusion that it is a very formidable adversary, PLA. And especially in the first island chain, they have come to the conclusion that every time they did a war game, the US military did not win. So the point to make is we are against a entirely different adversary, which is the People's Liberation Army.
哎呦喂，这话说的够直接。他还强调中国完全有这个实力。其实这次印巴冲突也把这个印度军队的老底儿给揭出来了。西方媒体都说了，印度军队这次表现不行，为啥呢？就是因为他太依赖买了，啥都买外国的，搞了个万国牌装备体系。现在打仗讲究的是体系化作战。你看看印度有一次出动了60多架飞机，结果呢这乱七八糟的这法国的阵风和俄国的苏30 MKI 雷达系统根本就不兼容那就像是鸡同鸭讲一样就没法配合这更气人的是，这法国还不给阵风的源代码，印度想自己改都不行，这还怎么玩再看看巴基斯坦，人家用的是中国提供的歼17战斗机和红旗9防空系统，搭起了一个预警、拦截、反击的完整体系。那这套体系就像一把刀一样，厉害得很。这印度根本就招架不住。这冲突结束之后印度也不承认自己损失惨重。
So can you give a number of assets we lost? Because there's been a lot of speculation going on. International media writing a lot of things about our platforms, including Rafales. I mean, Pakistan claiming that Rafale has been downed, etc. Can you put that question to rest and clarify on that?
I guess that question is for me. All right. I'm happy that you've asked this question. You know, we are in a combat scenario, and losses are a part of combat. The question that you must ask us, okay, and indeed that we must ask ourselves, you inclusive, is have we achieved our objectives? Have we achieved our objective of decimating that terrorist camp? And the answer is a thumping yes. And the results are for the whole world to see. As for the details, what could have been, how many numbers, which platform did we lose? You know, at this time, I would not like to comment on that because we are still in a combat situation. And if I comment on anything, it will only be advantage adversary. So we don't want to give him any advantage at this stage. All I can say is that we have achieved our objectives that we selected and all our pilots are back home. Thank you.
西方媒体也是帮着遮遮掩掩啊，不说这个飞机本身的问题，就说这个印度空军水平不行。其实啊，印度空军的问题也可多了，这个飞行员缺口啊都596人了，训练也用老掉牙的飞机，直升机飞行员还在用50多年的猎豹训练。要是技术兵种再跑一半，那印度空军就彻底完蛋了。说到这儿，咱们还得说说开头那个说大实话的印度专家。这个人啊叫普拉文索尼，他之前还说过啊，印度现在根本就没准备好跟巴基斯坦打热仗，尤其是巴基斯坦背后还有中国撑腰。你想想啊，中印边境和印巴边境都紧张兮兮的，印度这处境那叫一个尴尬。索尼这话说的也够直接，他说印度除了搞点小规模的突袭炮击啊，别的动作都得小心悠着点，不然局势升级啊，军队根本就兜不住。
Now, obviously sense has come, good sense has prevailed by the Indian military appreciation which has been given to the Prime Minister. And the key thing in my opinion that has shifted or made the appreciation sensible is the fact that Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi spoke once the crisis broke with his Pakistani counterpart, and the statement very clearly said that China will support Pakistan's sovereignty and security. Now that is saying a lot, because the People's Liberation Army today has such huge capabilities that without getting into a war, it has so capabilities in the non-kinetic domain that it can tilt the favor of war towards Pakistan. I have said this in my earlier video also. That time, of course, that statement of Wang Yi had not come. So there will be, because of this PLA support, in 5 areas that the Indian military will have big problems. A huge thing to contend with. One is the line of actual control itself, where whatever assets of the Indian Army and the Air Force have been earmarked, there is no way they can be moved to be brought to the Pakistan front. So in any case, depleted assets will be there on the Pakistan front. Second, the lines of communications inside Jammu and Kashmir, especially of the Indian Army, they will need special care. And the experience of Parakram tells us that it is not easy, because 15 Corps and 16 Corps commanders will have to go to their primary task of war, and the command and control becomes critical because for these lines of communication. So this is a big challenge. The third is the challenge of the battlefield itself, because there are so many capabilities. For example, military resolutions of Bedu satellite system of the PLA, they will be available for accurate targeting for the missiles of Pakistan. Then the ISR round the clock surveillance will be available to Pakistan, something that will not be available to the Indian military. I'm just naming 2 of them. There are huge things. Then we know that PLA has the capability today, its cyber capabilities, anti-space capabilities, its capability to cut the internet that comes inside India, that it can bring the civil life within India to a standstill. It can create mayhem and chaos there, which is what the Chinese call the cognitive confrontation and cognitive defeat of the enemy. This is something they do with their non-kinetic capabilities. They are huge. Then
解放军的实力摆在那儿，巴基斯坦的空军也准备充分。更现实的是，索尼还泼了盆冷水，说那些嚷嚷着要摧毁巴基斯坦核武、封锁海路的印度退役将领纯属活在梦里。他说，这些人啊，根本就不了解实际情况，就知道瞎嚷嚷。 他还提到，就算有些国家嘴上说支持印度，但是真打起来的时候，美国肯定不会出手啊，俄罗斯估计会保持中立，这以色列也会自顾不暇。索尼这人可不是随便说说，他可是印度陆军的退役军官，还在检视国际防务评论做过记者，写过好几本军事书呢，分析起来是有板有眼的。不得不说啊，这印度还是有清醒的人，能冷静看清局势。反观那个甲亢姐，她那是整体胡说八道啊。不过近日她的一期节目啊，那说的是有理有据，竟然喷起了美国，一起瞧瞧吧。所以说啊，在军事装备和作战能力上，中国比印度强太多了。回到最开始的问题，要是现在中印爆发空战，那结果会怎么样呢？印度啊，还是要多几个像这个普拉文索尼这样的明白人哦，也不至于闹出这么多笑话。好了，今天的视频就到这儿啦，对此你有什么看法呢？欢迎评论留言哦。我是小懒，记得订阅、点赞、分享哦。我们下期再见，感谢支持。